Good morning, students. Welcome back to the online classes section. So today we are going. Last class we have discussed about modulations, different kinds of modulation. Then a very important topic was modulation index. So I hope everyone are clear with that topic. Let's just once again revise what are the modulation index, what are different kinds of modulation index we are having. Fine, let's just start. So what is modulation index? Modulation index, what actually you got an idea, it is nothing but the ratio of depth of the modulation to which your carrier has been changed. Means how much, up to what extent your modulation has been done. As to know that particular one, we have seen the modulation index. We have seen different kinds of definitions also. I have for the revision purpose I have given one more definitions and a short question in case of for 2 marks question if they ask what is degree of modulation. I have discussed that also here in this class. So modulation is nothing but and it is always derived in terms of, or it is shown as mu, which is defined as a parameter which determines the amount of modulation. Means how much you have changed to your carrier, up to what depth or up to what extent your carrier has been modulated. Means it is changed or superimposed on a message signal. That can be found by using your modulation index. So actually you might be getting a question like, what is the degree of modulation required to establish a desirable AM communication link? Means amplitude modulated communication link, means without any distortions. If you want a communication link, or if you want to design a communication parameter, so what is the degree of modulation you require? So that is always mu is less than 1. It is 1.0, it means 1. Either 0.5, okay, it is okay, you can find a modulation, a communication link. But if modulation index is less than 1, below 1, so then your modulation index is perfectly 100%. Means 100% more communication link will be established with a degree of modulation whose value should be less than 1.0. in case if you are increasing that one, right, if you are increasing mu value greater than 1, then obviously you will be having which kind of modulation? Any idea? So that is nothing but your over modulation. That means the envelope will be crossing your zero axis, right? So if in case the zero axis, your envelope of the message signal, if it is crossing the zero amplitude axis, then there will be some noise, an unwanted random signal will be coming in that one. So that's the reason we are only considering, or it is advisable to use mu is less than 1, or also mu is equals to 1. That is also advisable. So you'll get 100% communication link. And it is also one more important thing we have to discuss, that it is important for successful retrieval of the original transmitted information at the receiver end. See, whatever the information I am giving or a transmitter is giving, that has to be retrieved at the receiver side. So as to get that particular information or the message or the data from the transmitter side to the receiver side, your modulation index should be less than 1. In that case only the receiver can get the errorless distortionless message signals by using an envelope detector. So it is very important to have your modulation index less than 1. So that is the thing we have told. This is very important. I'll read it out once again. This is very important for successful retrieval of your original transmitter information at the receiver end. What is important? Your mu value should be less than 1. So what is the short question that you might be getting? What is the degree of modulation required to establish a desirable AM communication links? Means what you have to give, your modulation index should be less than 1. It means either it should be under modulation or either it should be critical modulation, but it should not go for over modulation. If over modulation occurs, then the envelope signal are not same, and it is what happens at the receiver end, the envelope detector cannot detect the original message signal, and you may lose the signal and unwanted random signal may be appearing. So there is a chance of getting a noise also. So that's the reason we are considering only under and over critical modulations, right? I'll just show the figure. This is the M modulation. modulation index, where your percentage modulation we have seen. This is your under modulation, less than 100%. That means your envelope detector can be used and you can modify. This is, suppose mu is equals to 1, it is a critical modulation. Here also, by using an envelope detector at the receiver side, you are able to get whatever the message signal that has been transmitted through a particular channel. But here in the over modulation, when your mu value is greater than 1, at this particular condition, envelope detector gives a distorted signal. This is not your original signal. Okay, if this zero axis, this message signal or this envelope will be crossing your zero envelope, what we are saying, zero amplitude axis. So here from I think everyone is getting here. From here, your zero amplitude axis is crossing your message, your envelope is crossing your zero amplitude axis and going above. So that's the reason here you will be getting a distortion, and this distortion will be available, this distortion will be continued to the receiver. So at the envelope detector, this same distorted signal will be appeared. So that's the reason we use only either under modulation. Mostly we consider under modulation. In some conditions we go for critical modulation, but not for the over modulation, because there will there is a chance for getting a distortion at the receiver side. I think that is very clear to you people about the modulation index, right? Let's move to the next topic, single tone amplitude modulation. Now what is meant by single tone? If the message signal contains a single frequency component, if there is only one frequency component in your resulting modulated signal, only one frequency if you are having, we are in a band of frequency, we are considering only one frequency component, then that kind of modulated signal is known as your single tone amplitude modulation signal or amplitude modulated signal. Okay, if the message signal contains only one frequency component, at a particular single frequency we are transmitting the data, or it is some single frequency component, then the resulting modulated signal is known as single tone amplitude modulated signal or single tone amplitude modulation. For that one, we have given some derivation over here. So as you all know that what is M of t? M of t is nothing but your information signal or your message signal, that is given as AM cos 2 pi FMT. AM means amplitude of your message signal, FM is frequency of your message signal. Now C of t is equals to AC cos 2 pi FCT, where AC is amplitude of your carrier signal and FC is frequency of your carrier signal. So your amplitude modulated signal, in the last class also we have discussed how you got this formula. Sm of t is your amplitude modulation in terms of time domain. So AC of 1 plus Ka, it is constant. M of t, M of t is nothing but your message signal into cos 2 pi FCT. This is carrier which is modulated with your message signal. You are superimposing your carrier signal onto the message signal. So this is the amplitude modulated wave. So Sam of t is equals to AC of 1 plus Km of t into cos 2 pi FCT. Okay, see this I have written and I have given a screenshot over here so that you can easily understand. It was very difficult to write in this part on the slides. So in this single tone modulation, as I have already told in the last slide, up to Sam of t is equals to AC of 1 plus Km of t into cos 2 pi FCT. Please do practice this. Okay, now what I am doing, where your modulation index in the last class we have told that mu is equals to modulation index. Now individually I am multiplying these terms, AC into cos 2 pi FCT, correct? So I am getting as AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC, and then I am having AC. Instead of this AM, M of t, this message signal, I am substituting the value of message signal in this equation, right? In this modulated wave, amplitude modulated wave, I am substituting the value of M of t. What is the value of M of t? AM cos 2 pi FM into t, right? So I am substituting this value in this first equation. What I will get? AC of 1 plus Ka into AM cos 2 pi FM into t, then again same cos 2 pi FCT. This is your carrier signal and this is your message signal. As we already know that mu is equals to modulation index, and that is given as Ka into AM. Okay, so that I am substituting the value and replacing the value of Ka into AM as mu. So what my equation becomes, this modulated wave Sam of t in terms of time domain is equals to AC of 1 plus this k into m. I am replacing with mu into cos 2 pi fmt into cos 2 pi fct. Up to here you are clear, I think. Now what I'll do, I'll multiply these bracket terms individually. So what happens here, AC this cos 2 pi fct plus mu into AC cos 2 pi fmt, here your message signal, into cos 2 pi fct, this is your carrier signal. This you have multiplied. Up to here your people are clear. Okay, I hope you are clear. If in case if you are having any doubt, please do let me know. Okay, now by using the formula, you already know what is the formula of 2 cos A into cos B, right? So 2 cos A cos B formula is cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. Here my A is FM and B is FC. Okay, I'm removing this value as the constant terms because we have same values here. 2 pi t and 2 pi t I'm having in this one. Only FM and FC are differentiated, and that I'm considering as variables as A and B. So this A here gives you AM and B is equals to FC. So in case of cos, here I am not having two values. So what I'll do here, cos A into cos B is equals to cos of A plus B by 2 plus cos of A minus B by 2. This is the value we are giving over here. Fine. Then what happens is, now substitute this value in this one. So cos your modulated wave, amplitude modulated wave SAM of t is equals to AC cos 2 pi fct plus mu AC by 2 into cos 2 pi FC plus FM. This is A plus B plus AC, and what I am doing over here, AC by 2 into cos 2 pi of FC minus FM into T. So this is how you people will be solving. I hope you are clear. Once again I will revise this. AC cos 2 pi FCT, that is the first variable, that is clear. Then next what you are having, cos A plus B by 2, that is your mu AC by 2. I'm using this one, I'll show you here, by 1 by 2 if we take also common. What I'm having common, mu AC by 2 cos 2 pi of FC plus FM into T. This T I'm using here. Then again AC by 2 cos 2 pi of FC minus FM into T. I hope you are clear. Okay, so this is how you will be finding your single tone amplitude modulation. Now next what we are having over here, this is the single tone modulation signal wave. Okay, then next, this is the single tone amplitude modulated wave, and the formula is given as AC cos 2 pi FCT plus mu AC by 2 cos 2 pi FC plus FM into T plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi of FC minus FM into T. I think you are clear with this one. Okay, next we will see the spectrum, how actually your spectrum will be visible to you, right? So what is M of t? M of t is nothing but your message signal. This message signal is given as AM cos 2 pi FM into t, and that we are checking in terms of your spectrum. So for the spectrum you need some frequency band. So here we can check the frequency in terms of FM and minus FM, and the amplitude of that one is given as AM divided by 2. Okay, so here that was the spectrum of your message signal, right? Now this is the spectrum of your carrier signal. Now what you are having the spectrum of your carrier signal here, that is in terms of FC and minus FC and plus FC, and the spectrum amplitude is given as AC by 2, where we are considering this amplitude. Okay, so when I am considering this, the formula for your single tone amplitude modulated wave sorry, modulated wave is given as AC cos 2 pi FCT plus AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi of FC plus FM into T. Here T is there. Then AC mu by 2 cos 2 pi FC minus FM into T. Okay, so when you are having this, both you are having this modulated wave, this is your carrier spectrum, this is your message spectrum. If I am applying both this, modulating both this, then this is the spectrum that I will be getting. So what is the spectrum I am having? This is your origin, this is your lower sideband, and this is your upper sideband, right? So whenever you are considering a spectrum, in last class also I have shown that there will be two sidebands in that one. Okay, one is lower sideband and another one is your upper sideband. These both sidebands will be appearing, will be getting in your single tone amplitude modulation. Okay, and this is also the single tone amplitude modulation or conventional amplitude modulation is also called as a double sideband full carrier. So I'm having double sidebands here, right? Here also I'm having one sideband, here also one sideband, right? Again here also one sideband, here also I'm getting one sideband. So overall how many I'm having double sideband, I'm getting full carrier over this one. So which means that when the modulating signal or the message signal modulates with the carrier signal, both the sideband components and the carrier components are transmitted at a time. Means these what you are seeing, the sideband components with your carrier, they both are transmitted at a time, which is called, so that's the reason we are calling it as double sideband full carrier signal. It is called as DSB-FC. Okay, double sideband full carrier signal. Since why? Because it is having a drawback in this one. What is the problem here in the amplitude modulation? The information in the message signal is contained only in sidebands. Always remember, whatever the information we are having, we are going to transmit, or the message signal which is having, that is remain in only sidebands. It is not in the carrier. So what happens here? This side, along with the sidebands, your carrier is also going. It is also completely going into the receiver. Okay, so that's the reason the efficiency of the transmission is destroyed. There is very less efficiency. In the last class we have discussed about the drawbacks of the amplitude modulation, that we are having very less efficiency. So due to this reason, what is the reason? We are having double sidebands, where the information which is present in the sidebands, along with the sidebands, your carrier is also moved to the receiver. Plus the thing, whatever the power we require for transmitting your message signal, that actually that power is wasted in your, or applied, more power is applied or used by your carriers. So your power has been doubled over here. So that's the reason we are having a deficiency. What we are having a drawback in this one. So the efficiency of the transmission is very destroyed in this one. So it contains only in the sidebands and not in the carrier. Whatever the message you are having, that is only in the sidebands, not in the carrier. Hence the transmission of this wave is what we will say, in other words, if you say, the transmission of the carrier wave represented by in terms of power is completely wasted. So extra power is used to transmit your message signal in sidebands along with your carrier. So whenever you are transmitting your message signal through sidebands, your carrier is also moving with that one. So due to that one, we are wasting lots of power and efficiency is also reduced. So as to reduce that drawback, or to remove that drawback, or to increase the efficiency of the transmission, so we are using a DSB-SC, means double sideband suppressed carrier. So what we are doing, what we are saying here, double sideband full carrier we are having. We are saying here for this conventional AM, means your carrier is full, and that for transmission of your message signal you need carrier signal transmission also, and for due to that one we are applying power for sideband signals as well as we are applying power for the carrier signal. So power has been doubled. So as to reduce this one and to improve the efficiency, we are going for the next modulation technique, that is called as your DSB-SC, means double sideband suppressed carrier. In that one we will be suppressing our carriers. That we'll see in the next class. Fine. So these were the disadvantages of your amplitude modulation. Then in the next slide we'll see how a power will be calculated in amplitude modulated wave. I hope this is clear for you people. In case, I'll give notes also for this one clearly. Okay, the total power, how much power actually you need? We are saying that we need extra power, double power for this one in amplitude modulated wave. Means how much power we need. So we have to know the power, actually how much power has been consumed by the conventional amplitude modulation. As to know that one, we are using these mathematical expressions to know how much power actually has been consumed by this amplitude modulated wave. Here we are having that one. So total power is equals to your carrier power of the plus your sideband powers. So how many sidebands you are having? Upper sideband lower sideband. Here we have discussed, this is the upper sideband, this is the lower sideband. Along with this, what we are using? Carrier. So we need power for the carrier also. So I am considering it as a carrier power. What is actually total power in AM? The carrier power plus upper sideband power plus lower sideband power. So we have to calculate this by using the formula. So power can be calculated in terms of amplitude of the carrier. What is the amplitude? Nothing but how we calculate the amplitude in terms of voltage. The power is equals to V into I, or V square by R. But here the R value I am considering it as 2R because I am having two sidebands. So I am considering P is equals to V square by R, or the amplitude by R. So what is actually the amplitude over here? We are having the amplitude, carrier amplitude. For the first one, PC, for the carrier power, we are finding out the value. So PC, or the carrier power, is equals to AC whole square, that is V square by R. R is nothing but here 2R. So first one we have found, carrier power. Now the carrier power for your upper sideband. Power for the upper sideband is given. See here, what is the power here? Amplitude. Here amplitude is AC for your carrier. What is the amplitude for your upper sideband? It is AC mu by 2, and the amplitude of your lower sideband is nothing but AC mu by 2. So we have to apply or substitute that thing here. So AC mu by 2 whole square divided by 2R. Same for the lower sideband, you have to apply AC mu by 2 whole square by 2R. This AC mu by 2 whole square by 2R, how we will be getting? This is easy. This everyone knows, I think. AC square mu square divided by 8R. How I'll get 8R? 2 power 2 means 2 2s are 4. Again, then it is going down, then 4 2s are 8. So AC square mu square by 8R plus AC square mu square by 8R. And this is your carrier power, AC whole square by 2R. So this is how you'll be getting total power. Now you have to just briefly do the calculation. So power, AC power is equals to how much? I'll calculate this one. So I'll get AC square by 4R. How we'll get? 2 AC square mu square by 8R. So 2 1s are 2 4s are. So I'll be getting AC square by 2R plus AC square mu square by 4R. So what is the common thing in this one? AC square by 2R of 1 plus mu square by 2. So this is how you, what is AC square by 2R? This is nothing but your carrier power. So your total power is equals to carrier power of 1 plus mu square by 2, where PT is the carrier power after modulation. This is the total power after modulation. After modulating, how much power we have taken, we will be calculating, right? So PT is carrier power after modulation, and PC is the carrier power before modulation. So this is how you will be calculating the power of the amplitude modulated wave, and we'll see how much power has been wasted in your carrier when you are transmitting the signal by using your sidebands. Clear? I hope everyone is clear with this topic of power of AM. Now let's just see power. Now we'll see how this will be affecting your modulation index. This we have seen, this is your carrier power, this is the total power, and this is your modulation index mu. How it will be affecting? So this is the effect of your power when it is modulating your modulation values. Okay, how whenever your modulation is varying, what is the power very required, right? So for first condition I am considering, for mu is equals to 0, means there is no modulation. When there is no modulation means only message signal is going, there is no carrier. So what else we'll see? PT is equals to PC. So your total power is equals to the power of before modulation is equals to the total power after modulation. So there is PT is equals to PC, then there is no modulation. For mu is equals to 1 means 100% modulation has done, means your carrier as well as the message signal has been combined or superimposed. So your PT is equals to PC of, what is the formula? 1 plus PC of 1 plus mu square by 2. So what is 1? 1 square means 1 by 2. So I'll get as PT is equals to PC of 1.5. It means that if mu increases from 0 to 1, I am increasing mu, first I consider 0 and second condition I consider as 1. So when mu is increasing from 0 to 1, then the total AM power increases by 50%. So this much power will be wasted by using your amplitude modulation. So whenever we are going for the amplitude modulation, how much power is being used? 50% of its power. First, if you consider no modulation, what we have is same power you used to have. Whenever we are just moving to 0 to 1, when modulation index has been increased, means you have done the modulation. Which modulation? Amplitude modulation. So how much power it will use? It use 50%, is 50% of the extra power will be wasted. So that is what we say, that there is a less efficiency in the amplitude modulated wave. Okay, this is clear, right? Now let's see what is modulation efficiency. So how we said that efficiency is as to we have to increase the efficiency by using DSBSC in the next section. But what is actually efficiency, how it will be finding out? Here we said that in amplitude modulation wave, the amplitude modulation, we are having very less efficiency. How? We'll see that. The form the definition is that for the efficiency, it is the ratio of sideband power to the total power, whatever the sidebands you are having divided by total power, and its formula is given as mu square by 2 plus mu square. Here calculation is there, but I haven't given for you people. You have to do that one. You just substitute the values, mu value 0 and 0.5 and 1, and you see how much power you require over here. So this is the formula, eta is equals to mu square by 2 plus mu square. This is the formula for your what we will say, modulation efficiency. You just substitute the value of sideband power. What is the value of sideband power? AC square mu square by 8R divided by what is your total power? PC of 1 plus mu square by 2. You just substitute these values and obviously you will get this formula. I haven't given all the calculations over here. You try it once again. Okay, so when I'm substituting the value of modulation index over here, then what is the efficiency I'll be getting? I'll see here. Suppose in case if mu is equals to 0, means there is no modulation, right? If mu is equals to 0 means there is no no kind of modulation has been done, no depth of modulation we can find. So obviously your eta is also 0. 0 point something means obviously 0. Then the power of the carrier will be 100%. Okay, for the out of your total power. In case I am increasing the modulation, means I am doing the modulation to some extent, means I am giving a 0.5, then the total power we are considering is 89% of power will be used by carrier. Out of total power, when there is no kind of modulation, total power is used for what we will say, carrier only. When I am doing some part of modulation index, then 89% of power is used for only carrier out of total power. Then what sidebands will be doing? Because only in sidebands only we will be having a message or a data that has to be transmitted. Now I am doing the modulation index mu is equals to 1, then I'll get an efficiency. You calculate the efficiency also, you will be getting efficiency as 0.33, and then the total power of your carrier power out of total power will be 66.6, means your sidebands will be getting only 33.3% of power as to transmit the data. Means this much of power is being wasted for your carrier only. Actually we need whole data. We have to concentrate on the message signal or the sidebands which are carrying your message signal, but the power which is completely wasted in your carrier signal. So that's the reason we are moving for the next modulation techniques, that is called as double sideband suppressed carrier. What is conventional amplitude modulation is called as double sideband full carrier. So means here we are using full carrier. In double sideband suppressed carrier, what we'll doing, we'll be suppressing the carrier. That we'll see in the next topic. I hope you people are clear with that one. What we have seen today, just an introductory revision of your modulation index. Then we have seen how singleton amplitude modulation is used, what is the formula and the spectrum for the amplitude modulation for the message signal and the carrier signal, and when both are modulated, then how will the spectrum, what are the upper sidebands and the lower sidebands which are used, and your message signal is completely in the sidebands, but in the amplitude modulation, along with your sidebands, your carrier signal is also moved to the receiver. So due to that one, the power will be doubled. Whatever we are transmitting, how much suppose in case I need only 50 watts of power, but using this amplitude modulation I require 100 watts of power. So 50% of more power will be consumed or wasted on the carrier, but actually we have to concentrate only on the message signals which are carried through sideband. So we are seeing how actually the power will be calculated, what is the modulation efficiency, how it will be calculating, and how your modulation index will be varying in terms of power when you are applying, when there is no modulation, when there is modulation. We have seen that. Okay, we have done the calculation also. I hope you people are clear with this one. In case if you are having any doubts, please ask me, please let me know, so that I'll clear you. Okay, we will just end up today's class up to here. Okay, thank you.